Okay, I'm attempting to do this without my lighting. I really don't have my workshop set up, but I picked up a DX-7 today. Yeah, let me see if I can lighten this up. There we go. And it's in pretty good shape. It's got a little hole in one of the membranes, but otherwise not bad. But when you turn it on, it just says something like, please insert cartridge, not ready, insert cartridge. And I think the only issue is that the battery has never been replaced. So you can't really tell what I've done, but there's 5 screws that open the lid. Here you can see them. Sorry, it's so dark, but there's 5 screws, 4 on the top and one right here on the back. And then there's a series of screws that holds the keyboard in. I had to lift the keyboard out, and then there's this guy that covers the edge of the main board. And then a couple of screws on the main board, and then of course all of the wiring harness, which actually isn't as difficult as you'd think. Everything seems to, as long as you don't unclip everything and take it all apart, they all drop right into place. So I'm going to finish taking the board out and get some close-ups of that, and we'll see where we go from there. All right, this is the main board, and you can see. This has the original battery. It's not removable, so I'm going to wire in one of these little clips, and there, I actually have a battery that I know has some charge to it, because I can't find all my brand new batteries, but this one does have 3 volts, so I'm going to do that. I'm not going to video that because I need both my hands and I don't have my tripod. But I'll try to include some bits if I can. Actually, I might get my tripod and set the camera up on that. So, all right. I'm not sure how much of this I can show on the video, but I got the battery right here. And I need to look close and see. So, if you can see that or not. It's this one. And this one. So I'm going to unsolder this on my desk, yes, in my office. And we'll see how it goes without getting my microphone in the way. There we go. Sorry about the funky angle, but I'm not set up as a studio right now, but I still wanted to document this in case it works. And here's something I run into on these boards. It seems like some of this solder takes an incredible amount of heat to melt, but you can scorch the board if you have it too hot. And it gets super frustrating, as you can see, because I'm touching the thing and it's not melting, but it's burning the underside. So I have to be very careful. All right. Let's see. This is going to be difficult to show on camera. And take a close look at this. It very well might be glued down. So let me take a little flathead and carefully see if I can peel it up. Okay. Okay, so that was the wrong. All right. That's why it's not pulling off. Hang on a second. I'm going to have to put some blob back on that one, because I think it's actually this one. Okay. Let me see. Yep. All right, so let me get this solder back here. Come on. It keeps separating. All right. Yeah, see, it's too hot. But I did get the blob back on there. Now I just need to... Oh, I don't have my pliers. This one's not... Let me see if that did it. Nope. You can see, though, how it really does take some practice to get good at soldering, and I'm still not that great at it. Left my door open, but I want to get this off of here. So hang on. See if I can do this in camera. We're looking at right here. There we go. So I'm gonna... Come on. All right, I got it with the pliers on the back. I mean, this soldering iron is hot enough to burn the board, but it's not letting go. There it goes. All right. Yep, I can see all the way through. All right, there we go. Battery is off. Oop, right there. So now what I'm going to do, and that I'm not going to try to do on camera because it's really awkward, is this will not fit on here where the holes are. So I'm going to wire some small wires to the bottom, actually this one, and then run them through the holes here. So I will come back when I have something to show there. But basically I'm just going to solder some wires to these little tips and try not to mess the whole thing up. All right, where is it? There it is. Not my best work, but it's on there. And oddly enough, I don't think you can see it here, but there is on this model, on this board, not every board, but on this board, there's a tiny contact that I'm sure is for the negative. But I couldn't, since the battery is floating above it for now, at least, I couldn't connect the negative to it. So I just put a little jumper. Oh, where is it? I just put a little jumper on the bottom. We'll see if it matters or if it makes a mess. There it is. You can see the jumper. It just goes from a tiny little center dot there that the battery would have been resting on to the negative contact. So we got positive, we got negative. And now I'm going to wire it back up into the DX and see what happens. The DX-7 is functioning. If you've watched this whole video, you saw me add a little jumper on the bottom of the motherboard. And turns out that is not needed. It freaked out the screen, did weird things. So I took the little jumper off and just the positive and negatives are connected right now. And I've got some third-party sounds loaded in. I've got my camera next to me and my microphone here, so it's a little awkward. Modulation works. Pitch bend was set to 0, but now it's set to 3. These are not the built-in, these are not the default factory voices. The cartridge does have them though. And I've got some reverb turned on. I'm not recording, oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. I'm not recording a direct line, although I could. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so I do have this running in my recorder, so you should be able to hear this. I'll keep the volume down. So, trying to think through what I did. All right. Actually, if you're curious, the keyboard's not completely put back together. There's the insides. So the first thing I did was replace the battery. And then when I fired it up, it was still telling me the cartridge couldn't be read, even though there was no cartridge in the keyboard. The internal sounds didn't work. The cartridge sounds didn't work. So I did a self-test, and I did learn button 32 is a little hard to press, so I might replace that. For some reason, I could only get up through test 5. It wouldn't let me pass that. But you can see, obviously, the voice chips are working. So the steps I took to get it resurrected were, even though I couldn't play from the cartridge, I loaded the sounds from the cartridge, and when I did that, the internal sounds worked. Then I loaded them back to the cartridge, and the cartridge sounds worked. Then I attempted to get MIDI working. First couple of tries didn't work, so I'll include a screenshot. I slowed down SysX Librarian, slowed it way down, and that finally worked. And if you know anything about these, you have to unprotect the internal memory, set it to MIDI channel 1 by punching function 8, and then punch 8 again. And you can't see it on here, but let me see. Yeah, system info, and it says unavailable, and you have to set it to available. That sets the keyboard up for being able to take MIDI in. And then I sent some different sounds, and these are just some that I found on the internet. Five and 6 are kind of cool. Anyway, I still have to screw it all back together, and I'm going to clean off the writing on the front panel, but I'm just happy it works. I have another one that doesn't work. I can't get any sound out of, so I may swap the parts back and forth and see if I can track down. At least this one will give me a chance to test the power board. I actually have 2 power boards. I can test the power boards from the other one in this and see if those are the problem. And if they are, then I just need to repair them better than I did before. And if they aren't, I still have to track down what component on the motherboard is causing no sound to come out of my other one. The MIDI works on the other keyboard, but no sound. Not even when I run the test. Doesn't give me any kind of test nodes or test tones or anything. So that was my quick and dirty fix the DX-7. If in doubt, check the battery and then go from there and just keep troubleshooting. You know, it was just kind of on a whim that I decided to try to load the sounds from the cartridge because I knew there were good sounds on the cartridge. Try to load them back into the main sound bank, and bam, I had sound. So thanks for watching, and hope you come back for more.